This episode is brought to you by Denver Film. Hey, movie lovers! The Denver Film Festival is happening November 1st to the 10th, and this is your chance to see major films before anyone else. From red carpet premieres to must-see movies, this festival has it all. But it's not just about the big titles. You'll also discover hidden gems and indie films you won't find anywhere else. So don't wait. Head to denverfilm.org to get your tickets and experience 10 days of incredible cinema. That's denverfilm.org. We'll see you there. This episode is brought to you by the Denver Public Library. Come down Sunday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. for the Denver Central Library grand reopening ribbon-cutting ceremony. The library will open at 11 a.m. for you to explore redesigned spaces like the new Children's Library and the one-of-a-kind teen space. Enjoy live entertainment, refreshments, giveaways, and more. RSVP is encouraged at denlib.org/celebrate. That's denlib.org/celebrate. Today on CityCast Denver, it's almost November, a time for cozying up, gathering with friends, and giving thanks. Whether you've been with us for a while or you're a first-time listener, welcome. We're here to share our best bets and top recommendations for how to spend this lovely, chilly month in the Mile High City. Today is Thursday, October 31st. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Producer Olivia Jewel Love, hello.
Good morning, Bree.
Good morning. And newsletter editor Peyton Garcia, hi.
Good morning.
Welcome to our new listeners. We know this is a big show when we always get to say hi to all the new folks that are listening for the first time. Welcome. Hope you get to know us, and we're so happy that you're here. But it's November, and we're calling this it's the season of thanks and giving back. And before we get into the categories for the month, Peyton, I know this, like, the meal portion of Thanksgiving is like your jam. Why is this your favorite time of year?
Oh, this month is just my favorite. I live for November and Thanksgiving. First of all, because if you know me, I love to eat. My favorite hobby.
Do.
And all the food is just so amazing. And more than just the food, though, it's like I love the whole aspect of like getting the family together, getting your friends together, and just like everybody sharing a good time over a great meal. It's just like it gives me all the warm and fuzzies. It's just the best. It's my favorite time of year. I'm doing 4 Thanksgivings this year, and I am so excited about it. Like, I could not be more excited.
Well, you'll have to report back on your favorite, all the hits from all of these different Thanksgiving dinners. It sounds delicious. But, well, let's jump into our first category for the month of November. It's something to do or experience. Olivia, what did you bring for us?
So I'm looking at the Swallow Hill Banjo Fest. So this is on Saturday, November 9th. And it's put on by KGNU Community Radio and the Denver Folklore Center, which if you play a stringed instrument and you haven't been over to the Denver Folklore Center, like, get over there.
Place is amazing.
They know what they're doing. They have everything you need. They're just great. So this is like an entire day of banjo appreciation and learning. So it's for people who play banjo and for people who just like banjo. There's like a bunch of workshops, there's concerts at the end of the day, there's some jams, presentations, and like classes on different banjo styles to learn about it. So I'm a guitar player, like by my primary instrument, but my kind of party trick in high school was I had a really old banjo and I could play like a couple things on it and I would just break it out and it would be funny. But my partner actually is a big banjo player and he's very good at banjo. So this made me think, like, this is a super fun thing for us to do. One of our first dates was going to the Denver Folklore Center. So I was like, this is definitely up both of our alleys. And what a like random and cool thing to go do.
Also, I don't know why, but banjo gives me total autumn vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but That feels odd of me and fun. Yeah.
Folky, yeah. So I think this is going to be super fun. I'll make sure to put the link to everything.
And Swallow Hill is such a cool organization. So, like you said, the connection with the Denver Folklore Center, but they bring acts from all over the world to Swallow Hill, as well as host and serve the community through lessons. So no matter what your expertise or skill level with instruments, it's a great place to start. And this is a great intro too. If you're a banjo person and maybe you want to go from aficionado to player, sounds like the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for this. I think it'll be fun. It's on November 9th, all day. So get a ticket.
Excellent.
See you there.
I love it. Peyton, what about you? Something to do or experience this November?
Yeah, I think this might have been my recommendation to y'all last November, but it's just too good not to recommend again. Take a cooking class because it's Thanksgiving and you can really up your game and impress your friends and family if you take a cooking class. And there are tons of cooking schools here in Denver, and they all offer, this time of year, they all offer holiday-themed classes. So you can learn how to do a fully vegetarian Thanksgiving or holiday pies or sides, like really up your side game. So I think that taking a cooking class is like, this is the perfect time of year to do it, really get creative with your recipes. And then my recommendation for where to go for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a million cooking schools and they're all really great. But CSU Spur, they are doing cooking
Cool
classes
campus.
now. Yeah. And their classes are not only family friendly, which not all of them are at a lot of the other places. So you could bring your kiddos like 8 and older to cook with you. But they're also like half the price of these other places. Like it's like $40 for an adult, $50 for the nicer classes, and like $15 a kid. So like
that's
way
nice.
cheaper because the other classes are like typically run from like $100 to $150 a person. And they've got a couple classes coming up before Thanksgiving. They've got a holiday pies class on November 16th, an apple butter and applesauce class that same day. And then they have a fancy holiday gourmet class that teaches you like all the traditional holiday fixings on November 21st. So I think that they're a great option that I just learned about this year as I've done more coverage of CSU Spur for a great time. And then that campus is just really cool. So if you just want to explore it, they do like free guided tours like every Saturday. And then my bonus recommendation on top of this cooking class is something that I'm doing with my neighbors this year. So we're doing kind of like a neighbors Friendsgiving. And we're drawing, so the meal that you're assigned, we're drawing out of a hat. So like we're going to try and do that every year. So like everyone has to like do something different, like maybe out of your comfort zone instead of like, oh, we always do the yams and potatoes. Yeah. A fun way to kind of change it up is if you guys draw out of a hat and then like you have to kind of get creative with your dish.
That's
a great idea.
This is also a great idea, these cooking classes for like a date night or like a friend's night if you need an idea for something like that. And this sounds like a pretty good price too. Like, I assume the ingredients and stuff are included. So
yeah,
I love that idea, Olivia, too, because like especially like with first dates or like even just like friend dates, getting to know somebody, it's so nice to have something to do versus just like sitting at
staring
a bar
into
or
each other's
something.
eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that could be part of it too, but like, you know what I mean? It just helps as adults
it's fun,
to have
it's
something
interactive.
to do.
Yeah, it's a good time. I've done a lot of the other cooking schools around here. I've done like Stir. I think I've done Cook Street, and they all do really, really great stuff too. Really fun for
Lots
date
of
night.
options. Fun. That's great.
Well,
Peyton, I went through the same thing that Peyton did. Was like, did I recommend this last year?
Me
and
too.
I may have, but it's the thing that I just like. It gets better every year, which is Muertos in Westwood. So Dia de los Muertos is a celebration around this time of year, and over the last couple of years, I've learned a lot about the traditions, the pre-colonization, like ancestral traditions, and Westwood just does this really cool experience that runs for a couple of days that invites everybody, whether it's like your own culture or not. They really invite folks to be a part of it, and there's, like they do like ofrendas or altar building. There's music, there's food, there's workshops, there's like, it's like teaching you about history, but bringing you into that conversation in a really cool way. And just like gorgeous costumes. And sometimes they'll have like beautiful cars out. And just like, it's just this whole section of Westwood on Morrison Road turns into this beautiful thing. And every year they do it better and better. And so this year it runs November 1st through the 3rd. Again, I'll put a link in the show notes as well, but there's tons of things to do all weekend. So if you can't make it out for the whole thing, but if you want to really immerse yourself, they've got all kinds of things. And Hecho in Westwood puts it on. Cultura Chocolate puts it on, which I learned they had closed a couple of months ago because they'd been vandalized. They actually opened back up in September, which I didn't realize. So they're a fully functioning store again. So definitely a reason to go patronize what's going on in Westwood. But
You might have said this, but it is free to attend.
oh yeah, it's totally free. Good call. It's totally free. Drop in and out anytime. It's happening all for 3 days. So
I was looking at this event too, and the way they have it structured is really cool. I think this might be new to this year. They're trying to like break down the tradition of behind the celebration, or the history behind it. And like, so like the first day they're like covering like the really they're like paying tribute to like the really traditional history, and then like the next day they're taking like a more contemporary look at Dia de los Muertos. It looks so cool. They do such incredible events over there.
yeah,
It's hard not to recommend them every single year.
I know. That's how I felt. Was like, it's just something will surprise you, or you'll learn something new, or you'll meet someone cool always at one of their events. So this episode is brought to you by New Era Colorado. Young people are 1/3 of the electorate. New Era Colorado is a grassroots organization that organizes and mobilizes young people to participate in the political process, to harness their collective power to co-create a Colorado that serves all people. Growing up, my parents sat me down with their ballots and went through it with me even before I was old enough to vote. So then when it was time to vote, I used to like have parties and invite people to my house to fill out our ballots together. It's a big election year in Colorado and nationwide, so be sure to vote by November 5th at 7 p.m. And remember, in Colorado, it's never too late to register to vote. You can register to vote or update your registration at a voter service center in your county. Just be in line by 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th. With a ballot in hand, you have the power. New Era Colorado is here to help be your guide. Just visit neweracolorado.org for more information. That's neweracolorado.org. This episode is brought to you by Denver Health. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're talking about something incredibly important: life-saving mammograms. Breast cancer can affect anyone, but the good news is that with early detection, it can be caught and removed early. That's why getting regular mammograms is so crucial. The breast care team at Denver Health is committed to helping catch breast cancer early when treatment is most effective. A mammogram is quick, non-invasive, and can make all the difference. If you're 40 or older or have a family history of breast cancer, don't wait. Early detection saves lives. Take control of your health. Visit denverhealth.org/mammogram to schedule an appointment. That's denverhealth.org/mammogram. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. As we roll into the holiday season, tensions and stress can run high. I have invitations for Friendsgivings and Christmas parties and seasonal get-togethers filling my inbox and group texts, which is a great problem to have. But it can also feel stressful because spending time with friends and family is great, but it can come with this added pressure to be our best selves when maybe we just aren't feeling it. My secret weapon to navigate these times? A good therapist. So why not try BetterHelp? It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime with no additional charge. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/citycast today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/citycast. Okay, well, our next category is something to eat or drink. Peyton, this is your arena. What have you got?
I know. Okay, so this time of year is chili season.
It is.
Which I love. And we like to attend chili cook-offs. Me and my husband, he's got a killer chili recipe that he has honed over the last several years, which for years he kept losing the chili cook-off. But now we're like 3-year champs. His chili, he's perfected his recipe.
Willie's a really good cook.
My recommendation is host a chili cook-off with your friends. It's the best way to get your chili fix. Have all the fixins, the sour cream, the chips, the cheese, all of it. And if you don't want to cook, if you prefer to eat, find a community chili cook-off, because there's usually a bunch going on at breweries and stuff. And I actually have a couple recommendations. If you don't want to host your own and you just want to eat the chili, Long Table Brew House has a chili cook-off that's free to attend. This weekend, November 2nd, Chili Booze and Brews is a competition that is hosted it's in the, let me pull it up, sorry. It is in the North Wynkoop building, and it is hosted by the Morgan Adams Foundation, funding kids' cancer research. So it's this one you have to buy tickets to, but you get unlimited samples of chili, and you're giving back to a good cause. There's beer, there's, chili. It's great. And then Fiction Beer Co., which is a really great brewery, always putting on good events. They're having a free chili cook-off on November 9th.
Well, I'm actually going to talk about the Colorado version of chili, which is the green chili. And it's sort of, I don't know if this is considered an old Denver favorite, but there was this great restaurant on Federal and 25th called Jack and Grill. And it was open from 2000 to 2018. And it started as a chili roasting stand. They sold elote and just some other items. And then they eventually moved into this restaurant, and they served, and I should clarify here, they actually served New Mexico Mexican food. So they did green chili burgers. They did the typical, what's more, you find in New Mexico, which is Christmas on a burger, or I'm sorry, on a burrito. So it's red chili and green chili. So that was kind of their specialty. And they closed in 2018, and their son, it was a couple, unfortunately, they got a divorce. The restaurant, they ended everything. And the couple, after they divorced, actually moved back to New Mexico, but their son stayed here, and he's been kind of cooking their dishes out of a food truck in random places. He said he was really bad at social media, so people never knew where to find him. He's finally landed a spot in a brewery called Boombox Brew Bar. It's on the north edge of the north side at 56th and Pecos. And he's going to be serving old Jack and Grill favorites. So if that was a spot you really liked, you can go back and see Jack Martinez Jr. and he's making green chili burgers. He's making some burritos. He said he's not bringing it back yet, but they were known for their 7-pound burrito.
Oh my God, that's a child.
So I know he might be working his way up to it. I guess there was a show called Man vs. Food where the guy came and ate that and couldn't finish it. So
yeah, I bet. Oh God.
He may be bringing that back. But if you're missing old Jack and Grill, these recipes sound like Molly Martin did a great interview with him, but it sounds like old favorites. If you're missing that particular New Mexico crossover of Mexican food, head over to the Jack and Grill installation at Boombox Brew Bar.
Nice. Fun. Yum.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun story to come across. Olivia, what's yours?
So this is a place Bree and I actually went together. And so in November, I'm thinking about pie. Because, I'm always thinking about pie, honestly, but especially thinking about pie this month. So I'm going to recommend Granny Scott's Pie Shop in Lakewood.
Oh, yes.
They have every kind of pie, and their website says, if you don't see the kind of pie you want, call us and we'll see if we can make it for you. So, they are committed to the pie. But besides getting a whole pie there, you can go in for a slice. And they also, Bree and I went here for lunch. They have Wi-Fi, so we were working girls in the Granny's Pie Shop. It's very cute in there. They have vintage Pyrex dishes and stuff. So if you're an old grandma at heart like me, they've got it. But they have a really good lunch deal randomly. It's you get a sandwich and a side and a fountain drink and a slice of pie for under $15. So it's
it was so good.
It was great.
So what, you guys have to tell me, what pie did you get?
Bree got key lime.
Chocolate.
I remember
That's
this.
right. I either got a chocolate pie or a key lime pie.
I got not technically a pie, but Boston cream pie. Because it's a pie.
Technically, it's a pie.
It's not, but it's still really good. So I was very influenced by how it looked in the case. But yeah, this place is great. on Wadsworth down in Lakewood, and
It's one of those magical things in a strip mall that
Oh
would
my
surprise you kind of thing. And what I love about it, you kind of touched on it a little, Olivia, was I think you would say the aesthetics of the places. It's like very homey. Even if that wasn't like the kind of grandma you have, it feels like a cool.
It's the grandma
it feels like
you
a grandma's
want.
house.
the
Yeah,
ideal
it's a
grandma.
very. I don't know.
It's the grandma
Thomas
you wish you
Kincaid
had.
kitchen
and
grandma.
they take
It's
orders
so
for
cute.
pies. So if you don't want to be ambitious and make your own pie, go support a local business. They're awesome.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
Pie is
they-
my favorite dessert. I don't know if you guys knew that about me.
I love
Probably
pie.
another reason I love this time of year.
Pie's a big
So,
one for me too.
I will be making my way there this week.
No, go
I
hit
love
it up. Tell me when you're going. I'll come with you.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Granny's Pie Shop.
I'm going to do
Good
a pie
rec.
sampler. I'll report
Ooh,
back.
Yum.
Yeah, let us know because they, no joke, Peyton. They had like a list that's like 24 pies long. They had so many.
And they have
kinds
pot
of
pies if you're a pot pie.
Oh yeah,
girly.
if you want a savory.
Yeah, and that can be part of your lunch deal. Sorry, now I'm just
I'm
thinking
gonna
about
try. I'm gonna check this. I know, me too. There's this place called Tip Top Pies in Lafayette, and that's where I get all of my pies right now. They do like little hand pies and stuff. So if you're up north like me, check out Tip Top Pies in Lafayette. But I'm gonna make my way down
make
to
your way to
Lakewood.
Granny's.
Got to go to Granny's.
All
Love
right.
it. Okay, our final category for the month of November is a way to give back, something to do within the community in the spirit of giving thanks. Peyton, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So as temperatures get colder, I would say consider making and distributing a personal care kit to your neighbors who are experiencing homelessness or financial hardship. So what this is you can go the DIY route, and you're just filling like a little baggie with things that people might need. Especially this time of year. So, personal hygiene items, soap, lotion, toothbrushes, hats, gloves, blankets,
Socks too are always a really big one.
socks,
hand warmers.
Yeah.
a gift card maybe to a warm meal or Starbucks for a warm drink. And you could, do it with your friends, make a bunch of these care kits and keep them in your car, and you can go out and distribute them on like a specific day that you want to do that, or you could just keep them so that you have them when you see somebody who needs it. I'd encourage you to, if you feel comfortable with it, stop the car, have a conversation with a person.
Yeah.
Really try and make that connection. And if you don't want to go the DIY route, if you want some structure or organization, there's a lot of places around town that do this kind of thing all year long, really. Specifically, the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, Project Worthmore, which helps new arrivals in town, and then the Denver Rescue Mission. They actually specialize in making care packages for people who are in the transition from being unhoused and then finding housing. And so they have you bring stuff that maybe it's just those little inconveniences, bring them some cooking utensils or some bath towels, things like that. So anyways, all three of those organizations do some sort of personal care kit. And you can, they have
awesome.
they'll either give you some a list of things that you can make and take to them, or they most of them have Amazon wish lists. So you could just donate that way and buy basically a care kit that'll get delivered straight to them and they'll distribute. But I just think that's a really good thing, especially this time of year, just offering a little extra comfort, especially as it gets colder.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Olivia, what about you?
So to give back, my suggestion is to go volunteer with the Colorado Palliative and Hospice Care. So I did this when I was still living in Kansas City right after I graduated college, before I landed a job. I was like, I need to do something. So I volunteered at a hospice center, and it's just really a nice thing to do because not everybody who's, in the process of dying or is very ill has a family or has people who can come spend time with them, especially during the day, if their family's working and stuff. And so donating your time to be able to just hang out with a person is really cool. And you hear a lot of really interesting stories and stuff. A lot of times, people just want to chat about stuff. So I found this site, and I think it's really cool because you can kind of donate your skills. So, they're looking for, of course, just activity volunteers, end of life care volunteers, people who will, be present and like play games and hang out. But there's also more like if you have more specific skills, like they're also looking for hair care volunteers. So people who can give haircuts and like can wash hair and style hair, if you need a cosmetology license, but like that's a good way to volunteer. There's people who have, like, if you have a therapy dog or a therapy cat, like you can bring that in if you're like a pet volunteer. If you play an instrument, you can go do music therapy. There's photography volunteers. If you're a good photographer, you can go take photos, for their family to have and stuff. So like, there's just a lot of really specialized ways you can use your talents to just, give back and help people at the end of their life. Because like, everybody deserves that. So.
Yeah, I love this, especially this time of year with the holidays coming up. People who don't have their family nearby or around anymore. That's a really hard time of year.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's so great. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities to do this. This is just the one I picked out. But if most places that offer hospice and palliative care have want volunteers, want people to go hang out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and most of their websites will say like volunteers,
yes.
How to participate or help. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'll bring us home. My recommendation is to volunteer with Casa de Paz, which is the House of Peace. And this organization welcomes folks who are being released from the ICE detention center in Aurora. So a lot of times after folks are detained and then if they do get released into the community, this may have just been Denver may have been a way station, or they're often sent from other places, so they don't know anyone here. And what Casa de Paz does is they go to the detention center every day and just welcome folks coming out, connect them with like, do you need a warm meal? Do you need somewhere to stay for a night or two till you figure out your next destination? Do you need to get in contact with someone who can be your sponsor? Because when you're inside the detention center, you have to have money to use the phone. And so a lot of times folks are waiting to get out to start making those connections to their next place. And so Casa de Paz looks for volunteers to come do these welcomings when folks come in. Also, they take money for like phone cards. And you can also, even if you want to just, they have like a pen pal program if you want to communicate with someone inside and just let them know that there's someone waiting for them outside. And they just have a lot of different levels of volunteering if you want to be someone who's just helping somebody through a really honestly tough time and confusing time and overwhelming time, and just being that sort of soft landing spot for somebody who's in the midst of a big change in their life. And I came across their website and I was like, this sounds really cool.
That's a great idea and a good way to be like an ambassador for your city. Like if you are someone who loves Denver like we do, this is a great way to show people all the best parts of your city. Be like, it's great that you ended up here. Here's my favorite spot,
And like, let me take you, or like, you just like, yeah, I mean, it's just such a cool way. And I want to share in the show notes too. There's a great piece from Jennifer Brown in the Colorado Sun this week that sort of profiles what some of these folks are going through within the detention center and what the court system is like. So it helped me understand what they were in and then what they were coming out of and why it's so crucial to have like a smiling, helping hand to just waiting for you. It's like, think about it, like when you get off an airplane and you're seeing an old friend, or like just having someone to welcome you is really beneficial. So we'll put a link to that in the show notes. I'm going to use this before we go to do a little plug for our membership. If you want more recommendations from us for cool things to do all month long, you can become a member of CityCast Denver for as little as $8 a month. And every Monday, you get a members only email from Peyton herself. And it gives you a ton of good stuff to do every single week. Plus, another benefit of the membership is you get ad-free podcast listening and you're supporting local journalism. So you can go to membership.citycast.fm/Denver. Old listeners, new listeners, we'd love for you to join us in the membership program. Olivia and Peyton, this was so fun. Thank you both so much.
Yeah, yay. Happy November.
Happy November.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell your favorite home chef about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later. Tell your favorite home chef, Peyton's husband, Willie, about us. Because Willie's never heard of us.